Let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world.
Gentlemen, this is the Bunker Save Manifest.
America will find you, and we will bring you to justice.
We came, we saw, he died.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is June 20th, 2023, and the weather fucking sucks today. Just got back in the Netherlands yesterday and was praying there would be a little bit of sunshine. Was kind of wanting to go out and flail myself down into the sand, do a little bit of tanning, lay with all the old crispy housewives. But alas, I will not get to do that. There is not a piece of sunshine in the sky today. So it looks like I will be sitting inside playing Xbox in my underwear. Which, can't really beat that, can you? So, I was thinking this weekend about presidents. All the presidents. Some of the presidents. The next presidents. What presidents will we get? And realized that the election cycle is coming up, and this is the greatest time of year. It's better than the Christmas holidays. It's better than New Year's Eve. It's better than Valentine's when you cuddle up next to those that you love. The election cycle. The world looks on in awe as it sees. And that, now you may be saying, whoa. Hey, the election doesn't happen until next year, 2024. That is true. That is true. But just like American Idol, no one wants to watch at the very end when the best of the best are fighting it out. You want to see the beginning. You want to see what the lowest of the low has to offer. You want to see the people who have no business being on American Idol come in and embarrass themselves. And this is what I'm here for. And this is what this summer and this fall is going to bring us. We are about to see all the crazy people who think that they're going to run for president next year come out of the woodwork and start throwing the wildest commercials out. And I cannot wait. Now, of course, we all know the big names, the big contenders. You got Sleepy Joe Biden, grab him by the pussy Trump, RFJK LOL Jr. Who else you got? You got the dude kicking Mickey in his fucking teeth, DeSantis, Ron DeSantis down there. They call him the Cuban Missile Crisis. You got the big names. I think there's a few others. I think, what's his name? Mike Pence. I think he might be trying to run against Donnie. No, not happening. Sit down, Mike. But nobody cares about the big names. We all know they're going to be there every year. It's like watching SEC football. It's the same teams every year. No one cares. What we want to see are the loonies. We want to see the crazy ones. I want to see the Black Israelite candidate. Who are they sending? I want to see that guy and whoever the Proud Boys want to win. I want to see them debate. I want to see them get up on stage in their funny outfits, the black and yellow leotards, whatever the Proud Boys wear. And I want to see that guy debate a Black Israelite. That's the election I'm here for. That's what I want to see. Okay, that's what the world wants to see. And as a matter of fact, I think I have a new idea for how we can change up the whole voting scheme. So nobody's happy every year with the results. Everybody is accusing the other side of faking votes or getting rid of votes, or this machine is hacked, that machine, whatever. I got an idea. Hear me out. Americans are no longer allowed to vote. We don't vote. We're not allowed to. You'll go to prison if found that you were voting. You'll go to voting prison. And there you will rot for the indiscretion of trying to voice your opinion for who will represent our nation. No, you're not allowed to do that, obviously. That's been the way it's been for as long as possible, but at least now let's just all get on the same page, admit it, and come up with a better solution. So my solution is the rest of the world votes. All right, the other countries in the world, they vote for our president because, it seems only fair. They have to deal with us. When an American goes somewhere, it's not. People get this misconception that it's like an American goes to France, an American's supposed to adjust to French society, to French culture. No, that's not true. When an American goes somewhere, the French should have to adjust to us. And if that's the case, if the world is supposed to adjust to us in our American ways and our American values, then it is only right that they have a little bit of say in who represents us. So I think that we should offer up some candidates. Every weird group in America gets to throw out a candidate. Obviously we throw Trump in there because he's the reigning 3-time world champion right now. Throw him in there. Let Biden, roll out in a wheelchair or whatever. That'll be fun. Like I said, throw the Black Israelite guy in there. Throw him in there. Throw what's his name? Al Sharpton. Is he still alive? Throw him in there. Fuck it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He can run. I don't care. He can run. Let him do it. Kanye, we got to put Kanye up there. The Rock, definitely. Tom Cruise, the Scientologist, they'll throw Tom Cruise out there. But yeah, just let every crazy group that has any want of power in America, let them throw out their candidate. And then let the world decide. Okay? Except for the Chinese. They're not allowed to vote. But everybody else can vote, except for the Chinese. They're not. But everybody else allowed to vote. And yeah, they get to pick. They get to decide who will be president of America. And not for 4 years. So I want to change that to, I want 2 years. 2 years. 2 years is a long time. 2 years is enough time to, I don't know, start a war. That 2 years seems like definitely, as we've seen, is long enough to start a war. 2 years is long enough to, I don't know, collapse an economy. 2 years is long enough to shut everyone down inside of their houses. So 2 years is a long time. So we let the world decide who is president for 2 years, and every 2 years we have another election. And if you make it past 3 terms, so 6 years, if you've been elected by the world 3 times, then I say you get to pick you have to give it up after 3 terms, like that's the maximum. But then you get to pick the next person that you want to run for your place. Problem is, though, then the rest of the world gets to throw in candidates as well. So then it's going to be like a Thunderdome type of event where the best that America has to offer has to fight to the death the best that the world has to offer. So hopefully within a decade, so we might have 6 good years of consistent representation in the world, but hopefully within a decade we either control the entire globe or there's World War III. Which looks like that's either one of those is going to happen anyway, so we might as well have fun with it. But yeah, so that's my idea on the new election. And trust me, listen, I've never voted in my life. I refuse to vote. I think voting is a fool's errand. I think, and I hate the whole argument that if you don't vote, you can't complain. Well, no, not true. Exact opposite. If you vote, you cannot complain about something that you yourself did. So if you vote and then some douchebag in a tie comes up and fucks the country, well, guess whose fault it was? Yours for voting. So stop fucking voting. Okay? If you quit voting and they don't have anybody voting for them, they won't be able to run the office. The only other thing that I thought about this weekend, other than the coming election cycle, is the food. The food in Serbia, delicious. Meat all the time. And I thought that if only we could... Back in the day when you had like a couple of... Like you had people in your family that didn't get along, whatever. There was always some strife happening, some in-family drama. We solved it at the potluck. You had a potluck, maybe a couple of different like subsections of the overall family. The little distant cousins were feuding with this aunt or this uncle. You had a potluck. Everybody met in the park. Everybody brought a bunch of good food. The cousins who didn't see each other all the time, they got to play for a day. And then, everybody gets a little drunk, eats good food, and hopefully solves all the problems that have been plaguing that particular family, community, what have you, at least for the rest of the year, hopefully. So seeing that there's some very good food in Serbia, it got me thinking, why don't we, instead of fighting wars from now on, why don't we just have like big old potlucks? Just big old potlucks. Like every time there's like a problem, somebody's not happy with something America's doing or Russia's doing or China's doing, whatever, get together, or like, for instance, if China starts spouting off, starts trying to throw bombs at Taiwan or something, and everybody's like, China, you got to stop. You can't be overtaking Hong Kong and Taiwan anymore. All that has to happen is every Chinese food restaurant in America, free buffet for a week. Give them a free buffet. Every Chinese restaurant in America, free buffet for a week. World peace. World peace ensues. Foolproof plan. All right, I don't get it. Foolproof plan. Next time America tries to invade a country, you know what? Invade with burgers first. Tell every McDonald's in the world to give out free burgers for a month, and then see if any country starts protesting us going in to give it some of that black gold. That's how you do it. Burgers, not bombs. Okay. If we want to win the hearts, we focus for so long on winning hearts and minds. Win their stomachs. Win the stomachs of the world. You can conquer the fastest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Well, the fastest way to oil is through the stomachs of the starving people who live on top of it. Feed them McDonald's first, and then we can go in and we can take whatever we want. Now, this would be obviously a detriment to some countries who don't know what food is. The Netherlands. The Netherlands. They would not be able to win anything. Maybe they'd be able to conquer Africa. They'd just drop French fries all over the continent and then go in and take over it. But I think the Belgians did that like 100 years ago, so that's kind of an outdated idea. But the Chinese would be able to fucking rule the world. They'd be throwing wontons and spring rolls at everybody, and they'd just, oh, great, the Chinese, wonderful. I think Russia would collapse. Nobody wants to eat 12 different flavors of potatoes. So they'd be pretty pissed about this whole plan. The French would be on top of the world. They'd literally look like the France of old. They'd have palaces built in every country around the globe. Does Canada have food? I don't know. Fuck Canada. The Japanese, toss a bit of sushi on the ground. Nobody's going to pay attention to you. You could take over all of Asia. Just you and the Chinese fighting over which noodle's the best. I prefer an udon myself. A nice udon. Nobody could argue that, you know. But fried rice is good too. So we fight with food. I think it'll help a lot of people. Won't hurt as many people. Yeah, people will still get fat and die of diabetes, but, you know, America has shown us that we can still coast along pretty well with half our country fat and diabetic. So that's not really a worry, I think. But there's so much good food, and it's a shame that some people from some parts of the world are not allowed to try food from other parts of the world. It's like if you're growing up in the heart of Kansas, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you probably don't eat too much Ethiopian food, and that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame, because Ethiopian food is delicious. It's messy, but it's delicious, and I think that the kids would have a lot of fun with it. It's kind of like finger painting, but with food. And a lot of people will understand that they're a bit closer to the strangers around the globe than they had like to imagine. Because, for instance, this week, seeing all the different meats and barbecues in Serbia, it made me realize the food there is essentially just southern barbecue. It's all the same stuff, just maybe looks a little bit, but it's all the same stuff. Barbecue meat, beans, you know, corn and bread. It's all the same stuff that you would go to like your favorite barbecue place for. That's the food in Serbia. But I guarantee you, if you went to Georgia and said, hey, this food is just like the food in Serbia, you'd love it. They'd run you off. They tell you you're fucking crazy. But oftentimes truth is stranger than reality. So, and then if you went to Turkey and you ordered a durum and you said, guys, you might not want to hear this, but this is basically a burrito with less flavor. They'd cut your head off. They'd cut your head off, and then they'd tell you to fuck yourself, because they'd say, this is a durum. This is not a burrito. But in reality, it's basically a fucking burrito with no flavor. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to admit that. But it's the truth. It's just the simple truth. And unless you're an expert in noodleology, nobody's picking apart the different noodle dishes that go up the Mekong Delta. Okay? It's all the same. It's all the same stuff. And if people would just agree about this, oh, look, we're the same people. We're all humans because we all like the same yummy food. World peace, I'm telling you. Burgers, not bombs. So, the election cycle's coming up. Let's get fat. Let's watch the show and enjoy seeing the world burn down for the next 2 years. That's all I got to say. Goodbye.